Music is the only thing that speaks to your cells, your souls, your spirit, and with the lyrics inside it, it can influence you without you knowing. The body understands what the sound is saying. Music is the place where I become a child again. This is where I can dance. I am lost, I'm in another world and I love it. The feeling, it takes you to a higher vibration, a higher frequency that gives you that joy and happiness. It's part of us. Every culture, any culture that suppresses music, they'll go mentally ill.
اوكي، اسمي تارا صلاح مونيكا، عمري 14 سنة، من العراق. أصل يعني مولودة ببغداد بس أصلي بصراوي. حالياً عايشة بتركيا سامسون. متى أتذكر شو وقت أول مرة غنيت بيها، بس أول مرة سمعت أغنية وحبيتها وقررت إنه أغني وياها. كنا قاعدين مجرد ما أني أسمع موسيقى حلوة انجذب إلها، لو كانت من بعد أو كانت بسيارة أو كانت بشي تلفت نظري، لو كنت أحكي بموضوع مهم. يعني الموسيقى تلفتني، تطلع مشاعر الحقيقية، توصل لقلبي، توصل لمشاعري، توصل لهواي أشياء. يعني مثلاً من أسمع أغنية، من أغني الابتسامة ما تروح من وجهي، يعني ما أقدر هيك أغني، أستمتع بروحي هيجي، أبقى مرات أغمض، أطلع اللي بداخلي، مرات أي شيء أحس بيه يطلع وأني أغني. كان إحساس حلو كونه يعني يعرض على قناة عربية، يشوفوني ناس عربية مو بس عراقيين. شلون الواحد لازم يعتمد على نفسه، شلون يعرف يغني بطريقة صحيحة، شلون يصعد على المسرح بطريقة صحيحة، شلون تتفاعل ويا المسرح ويا الأغنية ويا الموسيقى. فذني الأشياء كلها كانت حلوة وإيجابية، يعني حتى الأشياء السلبية يعني كانت إيجابية بالنسبة لي، إني تعلمت من عندها. إنه إحنا صورناه بفترة وانعرض ب2016، فيعني بعد فترة، فمن طلعت الحلقة نشيت ببيتنا، فطلعت بعد فترة الناس كلها تعرفني، أروح المول كل شوي بي ناس كلهم كلها تعرفني، يلحقون ورايا، صورة 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 صورة، يمشون يغنون ورايا حلو 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 حلو. فيعني كان شيء يعني بداية هذا الشيء والناس عرفوني، كان مخيف نوعاً ما، حلو بس مخيف إنه عندها. بس للأسف يعني سافرت، ما صارت الفرصة إنه أكمل بيها. فيعني هسه أنا كلش مفتقدتها، يعني أشتاق لها، أشتاق لأصدقائي الأيامنا، أصدقائي اللي بالمدرسة واللي خارج المدرسة، اللي بعالم الفن خارج الفن، أشتاق لهم. بعد اجيت هنا، عرفت مدرستي اللي هي الموسيقى والباليه اللي هي كل حياتي كانت. فيعني كنت أفضل إنه أبقى بيها، وكنت دائما أقول حرامات إنه ما بيها سكن، كان عشت بيها يعني دائما.
I was born in the 80s. The war reached where we are. We keep running from one place to another. But the war intensified, so we got separated. Later I came to find out my auntie died. I came to find out my mom died. My uncles died. So the war keep on eating people. Then my father told me I am going to go to school in Ethiopia. So when we arrived in Ethiopia, we actually went to school. After a while, we're told we're gonna go to be trained. The soldiers, big soldiers and other child soldiers who are trained, they had guns hiding in the forest. And as we come in, they started beating people, kicking people and chasing them and just beating us for no reason. It was terrifying. And I couldn't understand why we're getting beaten like that. What I came to understand is they wanted to break something out of us. Violence was put in us. I was really angry, charged up by that dark force of bitterness. We planned an escape as little child soldiers. We walked for miles and miles and miles, 200 to 400 of us, and only 16 people made it. And after that, we got rescued. So we ended up in a place called Word, where in this place I met a British aid worker called Emma McCune.
There's so many credits to his name. He's a hip-hop artist. He shared the stage with names you might recognize. Bono, Peter Gabriel. He's with Nelson Mandela on his 90th birthday. Nominated for Juno for Best World Music in 2015. He's also an actor. And this is how you start out as acting, right? In Ron Howard's movie, The Good Lie, starring Reese Witherspoon. He's also the author of War Child, and you've seen copies of that here this evening, a book that shares his story of tragedy, but it's an incredible story of triumph as well. He's an incredible young man. What we're here for, he says, to have our hearts touched and to become better people. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm pleased to introduce to you Emmanuel Jal, survivor, peace activist, world changer, and genuine nice guy.
You will never know a potential of any child or any human being until that person is given an opportunity. Emma McCune rescued over 150 child soldiers. I was the only one that she picked and smuggled through a plane and took to Kenya. And that became the turning point of my life. The difficult thing in my life was not in the battlefield, was not the challenges, was the secondary battle, which is the war in the mind. Winning that, even I know here in Canada, everything may look peaceful, but there's battles going here in the head. What I came here to do is to speak on behalf of those children. Just imagine what those kids could be like. That kid could be the next Emmanuel Jal, or that kid could be the president of Congo, or that kid could be the next scientist, or that kid could be. Let's just stretch our imagination, because you never know. That woman rescued me, and I'm now here in Canada. I managed to put 2,000 kids in school by building a school in South Sudan. I've managed to work with World Vision, and we got over 300 kids now sponsored. And then I've traveled around the world where I share my experiences. But that's just one person who did that, and that person could be you.
فتارة من اجتنا هي آخر العنقود في 2004 مو 2004 2004 واحنا في قمة الأزمة اللي نمر بيها البلد في الحرب. فاجتنا تارة كنا نتوقع ان تكون ولد.
سونا رات ولد.
ردنا نسميها مكي. فالحمد لله جتنا بنيه، وهذه بنيه سبحان الله من هي بهذا العمر وهي صغيره بهذا العمر، هذا مو عمرها اشهر، وظلت تصغي للاغنيه، والاغنيه السلطنه بها وتهتز وتبكي.
ودارت الأيام ومرت الأيام ما بين بعد وخصام وقابلته نسيت إني خصيت. يعني أغلب الأحيان أقعد الصبح، مرات أتريق مرات لا، أقعد يم أهلي بالهول نسولف مرات يعني عن هواي مواضيع. أحب أقضي أكثر الوقت بالغرفة، أسمع أغاني، تمدد، أسمع أغاني، ومرات هاي إذا كنت قاعدة بالبيت، بس مرات أحب أطلع ويا أصدقائي، نطلع مرات نروح كافيه، نروح على البحر، مرات ننجمع بالبيت وهيك يعني. أنا ما كتبت أغاني لحد الآن، بس بعد ما خلصت ذا فويس ملحن علي السرحان هو صديق بابا هم، فحب يهدي لي أغنية هو ملحنها وكلمات بشير العبودي. فهاي الأغنية حبيتها وكانت كلش حلوة وهداني إياها، بس حسجلها يعني هاي الفترة قريبا يعني.
My name is Emmanuel Jal, and I come from a long way. I've been telling a story that has been so painful for me. It's been a tough journey for me, traveling the world, telling my story in form of a book. I saw my village burn down, the world that meant a lot to me. I saw it vanish in my face. And so one thing I know about music, music is the only thing that has power.
يعني مرات أي إنسان عادي يسمع موسيقى ما بيها كلام، مجرد كلارنت مثلاً دا يعزف، تحسه كفت شي يتحرك بقلبك. إذا الموسيقى توصل لأعمق القلب بدون أي كلام حتى.
Life in Toronto for me is amazing. Whatever energy you bring into Canada, people will observe you and they jump on it and contribute their energy. People always want to be a part of a vision, something that benefits other people, something that has got an impact. Canadians are kind of like that way. What is it that you're doing? How is it supporting other people? How can I be part of it? And then they clink on it. I came to Canada with nothing. A refugee with nothing. In fact, with minus, you know. But what I had when I came to Canada was I had something called purpose. And I had a vision. I have an idea of what I really want to do. It doesn't matter wherever I am stepping in the world. I have the basic stuff. Then understanding who I am and the contribution that I'm doing. Basically, wanting to contribute through the arts, through the music. So I established a record label with the help of some Canadian and also some friends. I've released now 3 albums on that record label. I was then nominated for Juno Award, which is a big Canadian award. And that also brought more spotlight. The interviews, the TV, the artists, the collaboration. So whatever I am, I never even know what color I am when I wake up in the morning. I just human than humans. It's awesome. Well, refugees are always connected. Once you become a refugee, wherever you go, it's like the energy just pulls you guys together. But also, on a longer way, refugees, my family members are refugees. They're staying in refugee camp. And I've been involved in supporting refugees all my life. So I created a charity called Goa Africa that work with families, individuals to help them overcome the effect of war and poverty. So every day I interact with refugees.
Mayweather. Here we go. Lam Nyambur.
فحلو إنه يكون عندي شخص قبلي يكون خبرة مثل والدي كونه ممثل وداخل حتى بمجال الموسيقى والتمثيل السينما ويعرف بهالأشياء. أخويا دائما أغلب أهلي من يحجون بمواضيع عن الفن يعني أستوعب من عندهم هالشيء وأخذه كنصيحة بدون ما أستوعب إنه أنا أخذتها وبدون ما أقول لهم أخذت هذا الشيء أخذه لا إراديا.
لا أخوي حلو شعرك فضولي.
يعني أكيد بيوم من الأيام راح أرجع العراق وخاصة بغداد لأن بغداد هي أفضل مكان إلي وأعتقد أكثر مكان راح أكون به مرتاحة وسعيدة بحياتي هو بغداد. أفوت للعراق وأني مو تارة قديمة أني تارة جديدة تارة أفضل تارة محققة.
We'll have like a cash flow document with projected income and loss.
For this to happen in Kenya, you know, Emma McCune died during that time. My life became difficult. I went to school here and there, but I paid interest in music. And how it happened was so quickly. I listened to one song on radio called Jesus My Best Friend by Puff Daddy. He's a gangster. And I said, oh, gangsters can sing songs like this? And I said, yeah. So I said, Pop, you know, I went home and I just did my own. Went to the studio first time, I was kicked out of the studio. Because they dropped the beat, and then we went like, yo, boom. Guys, get out of my studio, take your money. So it was the funniest thing. But to me, I said, okay, we got kicked out of the studio. How can I learn how to do it so I don't get kicked out of the next studio? I didn't know there's an art to hip hop. I just thought you just talk through the beat. But I came to realize that there's an art to it. And I had to learn. Americans were great at it. But I did not know the Americans were Americans. I thought they were Kenyans. All that Tupac. I used to think Bob Marley was an Ethiopian guy.
I love this song. You play the first part of the song and then you pull it up and rewind. You understand? You requested it, so rewind. What's the whole?
People scream,
Wakanda girl. And they love it, you know.
Can also go like that.
And so then I paid interest in music. I got a big hit in Kenya, and it gave me a global attention. So now that global attention has opened many ways, which I started to use to communicate my messages. I opened a charity called Gua Africa, where I can help people. So many avenues have opened now.
She told me to show her my power, yeah. She told me to show her my power, yeah. She told me to show her my power. She told me to show her my power. Back it up, oh back it up, back it up. Kamata, 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 kamata. Back it up, oh back it up, back it up. Kamata, 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 kamata. Hey, hey.
That's kind of what you hear in the walls, right? Not that.
الموسيقى بالنسبة لي هي أكو أغنية أم كلثوم تقول المغنى حياة الروح يسمعها العليل تشفي. يعني الأغنية حتى العليل أو المريض تشفي، فهي غذاء للروح، هي تهدئ النفوس، تخلي الواحد يسترخي، تخلي السلام الداخلي يكبر. وإذا ظلوا كل الناس تسمع موسيقى وتحس بيها، العالم كله راح يكون بسلام.
مو شرط انه
لا تنسى أهلك ودارك
Daha iyi söyleme. Daha iyi söyleme.
Stres yapma yavaş.
Ayaklıkta bile kilit var.
Ciddi mi?
Ya açılmıyor.
Kilit nerede?
Tara, tekrar.
يا بعيد شد الرحال طول غيابك وطال. يا بعيد شد الرحال طول غيابك وطال. حرقتنا نار انتظارك لا تنسى أهلك.
Why is this happening? Why am I here on earth? Why is it that there's always a challenge? Why is it I move, something good happens, there's always something bad about one? So try to understand the wave movement. I go up, and then as you go down, and then you go up. So I realize, oh, this is life. It's a wave. So it's like sound. Sound goes in wave motion. Waves in the ocean goes in wave motion. Before I used to be like, the world is like this. These people are like this. That person is that, and then putting my anger out, and I realized, oh no. I came to understand that everything is looking for attention. And the first thing I have to pay attention for is myself. What is happening in me? What is going on inside me? How can I overcome this?
لا تنسى أهلك ودارك، اترك الغربة وتعال. المستقبل يعني أنا أشوف نفسي كوني طموحة إنه أسعى على حلمي الكبير، إنه أكون فنانة عالمية وهادفة وعندي رسالة. يعني أشوف نفسي بالمستقبل إن راح أكون إنسانة إيجابية أكثر من هسه، راح أكون واعية كلش هواي بعد كل تجربة مريت بيها، بعد كل مرحلة حلوة وسيئة بحياتي، فراح أكون متعلمة هواي، حكون عايشة ويا إخواني ويا كل عائلتي. حرقتنا نار انت